All right, this is VR response to Hammie and Son. This is a pretty cool challenge. If I'd have saw it yesterday, I'd have just made this along with all the other videos I was making, and I ended up just editing a bunch of stuff all last night and a whole bunch of other stuff I hadn't had a chance to do. So I didn't see it. I didn't see his shout out in the video until a little bit later. So thanks for the shout out, buddy. I appreciate that, Hammie. So I'm going to go ahead and do my Hammie and Sons VR challenge accepted for my football. Who's my go-to squad if I had a football YouTube team, so to speak? I can't remember exactly how we referred to it, but this will be my version of that. So first of all, we need a head coach. Got to have a good head coach. This is going to be one high-powered team we're talking about here. So first of all, we got to start out with our Bill Belichick, which will be my man, Video Guy 316. We need a guy with experience. We need a guy with a lot of time in the hobby, who knows a lot about a lot of things, who's calm, cool, and collected under fire, has a lot of connections. We need to make trades. We need to do anything. This guy can kind of coordinate a little bit of everything. So Video Guy 316, you're my head coach. Obviously, we are going to need an offensive coordinator. And this team, like I said, is going to be ferocious. Therefore, we're going to need one of the best. One of the best coordinators that I know of, that I see. He's a very passionate guy, very fiery guy. Our Bill Walsh is going to be an excellent coordinator because he's extremely creative. He brings people together. And he's got the kind of personality that the team would gravitate around and rally around. So my Bill Walsh for my team is Jazamby. Jazamby? I think I said it Jazamby right. I'm sorry if I said that wrong the first time, but it's Jazamby. If you haven't checked him out, it's at Jazamby. Video Guy is at Video Guy 316. So I wanted to mention that I forgot to do that. I was so fired up for Darren's contest. I forgot to actually mention the names of people's channels that I wanted to recommend. So I had to do it at the end. So I pray everybody watches that video until the end so you can see the links. And there was several other channels I wanted to include, but we only had so many. So, okay, so we're going to go straight to, we did the head coach and the OC. So we're going to go to the QB. We're going to go right to QB and, it's pretty important. So first up, we're going to go with our starting quarterback is, without a doubt, has to be Hammie himself. The guy who's coordinating everything, approaching 400 subscribers. I don't know if he got there yet, but congratulations on that, buddy. And our Drew Brees, our starting quarterback, is Hammie. However, Drew Brees and our team, he's been around for a while. He's been going for a while. So obviously, we got to have our high draft pick waiting in the wings. Obviously, without a doubt, over there at Seneca Wallace QB camp, it's got to be Hammie Jr. Not 100% sure what his name is. If I forgot it, I'm sorry. I've always referred to him as Hammie Jr., I believe, from day one. So as soon as I saw their channel. So our Aaron Rodgers waiting in the wings to be our next superstar, taking us to the championship game. Drew Brees already has. Our Hammie's already done that for us. And we're looking for our next championship at the end of... He's being groomed right now. He's waiting on the bench. That's our Rodgers, Hammie Jr. All right, so now we're going to our center. We need to protect our franchise player as well. We need to protect our up-and-coming draft pick. So our center is going to be our Chuck Bednarik. Yes, Chuck Bednarik actually played center. I don't know if he did it all the time, but I just found that out today. He actually played center, and I was like, well, I got a Chuck Bednarik autograph. This works out great. Our Chuck Bednarik is going to be the guy who makes sure everything goes swell, and when he's in charge, that's exactly how it goes. So our Chuck Bednarik, our center, is going to be John 3D80s Kid. So at 3D80s Kid, that's John at 3D80s Kid. The coordinator, the glue that kept everything together during Hobby Palooza, the man, the myth, John 3D80s Kid. Got to check him out. That's our Bednarik. He's our center. Okay, so our right guard. You know what? We're going to do the right guard and the right tackle together. Both pretty new channels, but you wouldn't guess because they fit in so easily, so quickly that I'm gonna team them up together here. So, and I pardon me if they were on the left side. I don't recall because it's been so long. But our Walter Jones and our Steve Hutchinson. So I'm going to say the right guard and right tackle. I don't recall if they were on the left or right. I apologize to anybody who, you can correct me, obviously. I'd love to know better. But our right guard, right tackle combination is our Walter Jones and Steve Hutchinson are Aaron at Value Vintage Cards and Rob at Rob Cash Cards. Cash Cards is the name of the channel, but his link is at Rob Cash Cards, and I think there's a space between the H and the C in Cash and Cards. Two very new channels, great guys. I mean, such a no-brainer. They fit in right around here. It's easy to throw them right into the starting lineup. So, obviously, there's a lot of old school, really well-known channels I'd like to throw in here too. But I'm going to try to keep it, kind of like Darren's doing with, smaller channels that deserve some more recognition. So now we're coming. Oh, okay. I forgot about this. So I was nominated as a starting left guard for Hammie's team. Now, unfortunately, I accept the position. Absolutely. However, I am still on the injured reserve list. So I am going to humbly pick my left guard as Justin, Billy Ballgame's buddy at Go Crazy Card Collecting. Cardinals fan, brand new channel, Billy Ballgame's buddy. He's going to be our first round draft pick that's stepping in for me while I'm injured at the left guard position. And his channel's brand new. Guy's really down to earth, fits right into the community, and I guarantee you is going to be one of the next no-brainer channels to subscribe to. So get in early on him. That's Justin over there at Go Crazy Card Collecting as my left guard. So I gotta show the card. I almost forgot. I got caught up there. So oh shoot. Yeah, so my left guard is going to be my Willie Roaf. Oh, I'm sorry. Pardon me. My Will Shields. My Will Shields is going to be Justin at Go Crazy Card Collecting. That's my Will Shields. He is my starting left guard. Now, obviously, I just gave away who my starting left tackle is, but we are going with my Willie Roaf. Willie Roaf, my go-to guy, is going to be RedRum at RedRum 2612. Sports fan, music fan, movie fan, awesome guy, musician, dabbling with the guitar. We're just now seeing what he's doing in 2021. I can't wait to see how good he is now when we get to the current stuff. So my left tackle, my starting left tackle, my Willie Roaf for my team is RedRum. All right, so now we're at the tight end position. So my no-brainer here is Dino. Okay, so now I wanted to go with George Kittle. Dino, Dino's my starting tight end ideally would be George Kittle right now, and it would be, but I do not have a George Kittle card, so we're going with. I was going to go with the Tony G. This is a thicker card here. It's having a hard time wanting to stay up there, but my Gronk We got Rob Gronkowski. The Rob Gronkowski in my starting lineup is Dino. And that's at Dino. Easy enough. Deano. That's my guy. That's my high energy. You can't tackle me. You can't keep me down. Clutch time, cross the middle, getting his head cracked when he's running out, a slot. He's running a long out toward the sideline. We need a long pass. He's got double coverage. I'm throwing it to Dino. He's my go-to tight end, my Gronk. Alrighty. Now, this offense is ridiculous, guys. I'm telling you. So, my number one wide receiver is going to be, I wanted it to be Chris Carter. I don't have a good enough Chris Carter card to show. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a situation here where I'm going with Anquan Bolden. So my Anquan Bolden, my starting wide receiver, and just because he's, he's going to be my number one. So my number one receiver, my Anquan Bolden, is Dan at Old Sarge Collectibles. Dependable, go-to guy, trustworthy, awesome channel. Got to check him out. Selfless, just like Bolden on the field. Put his body on the line. Dude broke his jaw playing a game and kept going. My number one receiver, Old Sarge Collects. OL dash or apostrophe Sarge Collects. So it's at Old Sarge Collects. And that's Dan. My number one receiver, Anquan Bolden. My Anquan Bolden. So my number two receiver, a lot of people would say, well, he should have been your number one receiver. As the card I'm going to show anyhow. So my number two receiver is my Terrell Owens. I can't even imagine this combination on the field of Chris Carter and Terrell Owens, or Anquan Bolden and Terrell Owens in their prime. I mean, wow. So you got. So my Chris Carter would have been tiptoeing the sidelines, catching those over the shoulder passes that Aaron Rodgers basically invented. The comebackers, and then you got T.O. running the sideline for the long bomb. So my wide receiver two, my T.O. is Steve at Vintage Card Steve. So that's at Vintage Card Steve. That's my guy Steve out there, up in Nebraska, Husker fan. He's my game breaker. He's out there training today in his latest video. If you want to go check that out, living out there in beautiful rural Nebraska. So my TO is Vintage Card Steve. So this is a high-powered offense. We're not going to have a fullback in this offense. What we are going to have is ideally I'd have my Julian Edelman as my slot receiver. However, I do not own a Julian Edelman card to the best of my knowledge. So I am going to go for my slot receiver is not an ideal slot receiver generally. Not anybody you'd ever think of as a slot receiver, but my slot receiver is going to be Hines Ward. A guy who's not afraid to go across the middle. Speedy, smart, quick, precise, good hands. Knows what he's doing out there. My slot receiver is Dylan at Double D Vintage Sports Cards. I believe I said that right. Double D Vintage Collector. Oh shoot! I hope I didn't screw that up. I have it partially scratched off for some reason, and I'm sorry, Dylan. But Dylan Double D Vintage. His channel is not hard to find. He's a pretty big channel, but he's my clutch guy over the middle. I got to hit him on a short pass, and I need a guy to take it to the house. Third down. Dylan Double D. You're my Hines Ward. You're my slot guy all day long, buddy. All right, getting down to the nitty gritty here. So this one was a little tough. I initially wanted to go with John Mangini as my running back. I mean, who else has got the tenacity and the gusto to be a game breaker at the running back position in the YouTube community? But then I thought to myself, what about Barry Sanders? I mean, obviously a Barry Sanders fan. So my Barry Sanders, my humble guy that goes there out in the field, just kicks butt every day, never talks trash, hands the ball to the ref after he breaks an 80-yard touchdown, never celebrates, just goes out there and does his thing. Humbly, respectfully, a guy everybody can like and everybody can rally around. My Barry Sanders is Billy over there at Billy Ballgame Sports Cards. Billy Ballgame Sports Cards, at Billy Ballgame Sports Cards. That is my guy. That's my Barry Sanders, my man Billy. He's more of a hockey guy and a baseball guy, but we're picking a fictitious team. I want my running back to be like Barry Sanders. I'm picking Billy. I think that actually wraps it up. I think was running back my last. I want to give a shout out to Clutch City Rips. I was wanting to include you on this list, and that's at 713 Clutch City H-Town Rips. Kind of a long one there, but you can pause it and write it down. So that's Clutch City Rips. And the only reason I didn't go with you on the list, or I didn't try to a little harder to get you on there. I did have you on there at one point, was because I wasn't sure if you were just doing content for the hashtag 2for22. So either way, haven't seen nothing from you in a while, and I hope you're doing well. So check out his channel as well. That's Clutch City Rips down there in Texas, I believe. Good down to earth guy. He was participating in the hashtag 2for22 for Hammie and Sons. His channel deserves a look, deserves some love. Check him out. I hope he's doing good, and I'd like to see some content out of him again here soon. So that's my team. Real cool, VR challenge, whatever, if you will. Hammie, I enjoyed that. Was looking forward to that as soon as I saw it, and now I got to get down to work doing all the rest of my video stuff and shout outs and comments and everything else. So hope you enjoyed. Awesome contest or VR. See you. God bless.